Good evening. Thank you for joining us. And we begin with psychologists, students, and concerned members of the public rallying on Parliament Hill, speaking out against proposed cuts to the psychologist training standards. CTV's Camille Wilson has more.
Dozens of psychologists rallying in opposition to training standards that could be cut by the College of Psychologists and Behavior Analysis of Ontario.
Our college has made proposals to drastically cut training to new psychologists, 75%, which is unprecedented and would make us the province with the lowest standards in all of the country.
Deanna Drahotzel, along with other psychologists, are concerned such a move would impact clients.
Our main goal, we're in healthcare, and so we want to protect the public, and it's quite worrisome that these changes might lead to vulnerable people not being properly cared for, not being properly diagnosed, not being properly looked after.
People here say the college is telling them they are under pressure to make these changes to meet demand, as more psychologists are needed across the province.
Mary and myself both work with children, a very vulnerable population. It takes years and years of training to do this work in an ethical, responsible way, so that we know how to diagnose this population appropriately without risk.
Right now, the requirement is to have at least a master's degree or PhD level to practice, but with that being cut, the fear from these psychologists is that this will change the way mental health is treated in Canada. But those changes haven't happened yet.
A big misperception that people have about psychologists is that all of our work is talk therapy, and while that is a really important part of our work, it's a small part of what we do.
Many say they are feeling betrayed because they were held to high standards, and suddenly those standards no longer seem important.
We are required to, we carry with us the controlled act of diagnosis. And diagnosis is a controlled act because it can do harm. It's like being able to operate on somebody or being able to administer medications to people or to be able to drill their teeth.
Drahotzel says if the proposals aren't reversed, the next step will be to go to the Ministry of Health.
What's very disappointing is our college is not taking us seriously, despite 95% of us saying no, that we vote no.
Camille Wilson, CTV News.
All right, we'll take our first check of weather. Definitely a little bit milder here in the capital today, but definitely getting cooler as we head towards further into December. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. Brisk evening here in the city with an expected low of -14. So here's what we're dealing with. We have some chances of flurries in the overnight hours, continuing on to Sunday with some light snow in the forecast. Monday is expected to be sunny, so that's something to look out for. But here's what's shaping up for the next 24 hours or so. We've got, again, flurries, light flurries for your Sunday. We could see a high of about -9 degrees. Ontario Provincial Police have charged 7 people with drug-related charges in Pembroke. On Thursday, police executed search warrants at multiple residences on William Street. OPP found 55 grams of suspected cocaine, hydromorphone tablets, and pills and other items associated with drug trafficking. Of the 7 people arrested, 5 are from Pembroke, 2 are from Petawawa, and range in the age from 28 to 50 years old. Dozens of Indigenous artifacts released from the Vatican collection arrived in the capital region today. Indigenous leaders have long called on the Vatican to return Indigenous items in their collection. Representatives spoke with Pope Francis about it in 2022 when they met him in Rome to discuss the legacy of church-run residential schools. During their visit, they were given a private viewing of some of the items held by the church. Some of the artifacts had not been seen by the public in decades. They are now at the Canadian Museum of History in Gatineau, where they are being examined. The mayors of Ontario's largest cities are calling on the province to take more action on homelessness caused by addiction and mental health. Ontario's big city mayors have passed a motion calling on the province to declare a state of emergency. They say provincial interventions like the opening of treatment hubs are welcome, but insufficient. The province has said it's investing $3.8 billion over the next 10 years to close gaps in mental health and addictions care. Does the capital region need another interprovincial bridge? The National Capital Commission has released a report on what it heard from residents and in the first round of public consultations for the bridge that's being proposed in the East End. Some see the proposal as a way to reduce truck traffic downtown. And as CTV's Josh Morano tells us, other nearby residents have major concerns about how traffic could change in their neighborhoods.
Plans for an interprovincial bridge connecting Ottawa and Gatineau once again sparking controversy after the National Capital Commission released its first round of public consultations.
It's overkill in terms of satisfying the needs for commuters from the Quebec side. That would only lead to congestion downtown.
More than 5,000 people participated in the online survey from Ontario and Quebec. Reducing truck traffic in the downtown core was ranked most important by 38.5% of respondents, followed by reducing commute times and better options for public transit. However, traffic impacts on neighborhoods was a common concern, highlighted by 25.6% of people surveyed, followed by impacts of construction and increased congestion on nearby roads.
They've opened a community center just around the corner here, and the traffic on the street has increased. So that's a small thing. Imagine what a bridge would do with all the approaches and everything else.
It's been a minute since we've had a lot of truck traffic on King Edward. It is the only interprovincial truck route in North America that goes through a downtown core. Having a solution to that would be helpful.
Plans for an interprovincial bridge connecting Ottawa's Aviation Parkway to Gatineau's Monte-Paiement across Kettle Island have been talked about for decades. The current attempt was included in the federal government's 2024 fall economic statement.
It's all our responsibility to help increase interprovincial trade and lessen our dependence on the United States. We don't know what's going to happen with the political situation there, so we have to reinforce our own businesses, our own small businesses, and we have to make sure that we have systems in place that support that.
However, many feel there are more realistic options to alleviate traffic, especially with the bridge estimated to cost $4 billion.
A ring road is the only solution to be able to bridge between the 416 and the 417, all the traffic that we see and the constant congestion going through downtown on the 417. Adding more trucks to that traffic is not going to help anything.
For Brunette, the bridge risks turning an already busy parkway into something unmanageable.
All you have to do is see the aviation or the parkway at rush hour heading to or from in the morning, and you can see that with the bridge, that would just be untenable, in my view.
Josh Moreno, CTV News.
Mayor Mark Sutcliffe welcomed families and residents to the annual Christmas celebration at City Hall on Saturday.
It's a delight to welcome you all here for this wonderful, wonderful occasion. The magic of Christmas is with us.
Now in its 23rd year, the event supports the Ottawa Food Bank. People had the chance to meet Santa and Mrs. Claus, enjoy festive treats, horse-drawn wagon rides, and of course skate at the Rink of Dreams. And Santa's holiday train was back at the Canada Science and Technology Museum. Saturday's festivities were all in support of CHEO. Families had the chance to tour the festive train and meet Black Santa and CHEO Bear. The event organized by the Bytown Railway Society. All right, still to come, new data shows flu cases and a rise in hospitalizations have jumped by more than 60% from last week across Canada. Plus, we'll have an extended look at the forecast when we come back.
The magic of the holidays is here, and this year the need is greater than ever.
Let's ensure every child in our community feels the joy with CTV and Move 100's Toy Mountain.
Together with the Salvation Army, we can help spread cheer and make a child's wish come true.
Drop off any new unwrapped toy to the designated drop-off locations or make a monetary donation online.
For all the details, visit toymountain.ca, presented by Donnelly Automotive Group.
Well, the Bell Media building is lit up bigger and brighter this year. It's all thanks to our friends at Christmas Decor from Nutrilon. All right, we'll take our check of your extended forecast right now. Again, not overly cold in the capital this afternoon. People were out and about getting some fresh air, but that will likely soon change. We're in for a real winter chill with the temperatures dropping to about minus 14 degrees overnight and freezing conditions expected to linger at least for the next few days. We'll take a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Again, a brisk evening that we're dealing with, expected to head down to a low of minus 14 with some light flurries that we'll be looking at as well. We'll take a quick look through our satellite radar that we will see the cloud cover sticking with us right across the region for the next little bit. So again, it's going to be snowing for the better part of the week. It looks like we're going to have one day with a bit of reprieve. We'll get to that in just a second. Here's a look at the overnight low for Ottawa, minus 17 degrees. Same thing for the Cornwall area with some flurries overnight. Looks like they have a bit more snow in the Brockville, Kingston and Trenton areas across the Seaway, minus 15 and 16 that we're looking at there. Minus 22 overnight for Bancroft, minus 21 for Pembroke. Minus 20 for Kittigan-Zibi, minus 20 as well for Maniwaki, minus 21 for Petawawa and Gatineau, minus 14 for the Montreal area, minus 17 with some snow for Kentville. Same thing for Mont-Tremblant, but they're sitting at minus 19. Tomorrow's highs will get to minus 13 for the Ottawa area. Some snow to deal with off and on throughout the day. We've got minus 13 for Cornwall, minus 11 for Brockville, minus 10 for Kingston and for Trenton, minus 13 for Kittigan-Zibi and Pembroke, minus 13 for Gatineau as well. Again, across the region, we are expecting some snow for the better part of the day, minus 11 for both Kentville and for Montreal. So here's how the week is shaping up. On Sunday, again, we're looking at some light snow right throughout the day, but the sunshine returns on Monday, minus 13 there, and then some more snow Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Well, new data shows flu cases in Canada jumped by nearly 61% in just 1 week.
We know the flu can pack a punch. It's a nasty infection. It's not just a little sniffle or a little cough or a cold. It can be a very severe infection.
The latest Canadian respiratory virus surveillance report released on Friday found the number of lab-confirmed cases rose by almost 1,400 during the last week of November compared to the week before. Test positivity that week climbed by 13%, and that's up from 8% the previous week. There is also a rise in hospitalizations tied to respiratory illnesses, up about 26% week over week.
3, 2, 1.
Well, still ahead, Santas go for a stroll. Nearly 1,000 people come out for the 35th annual Santa Shuffle Fun Run, all in support of the Salvation Army.
It's all over. This is Miami's moment. This is Messi's moment.
The MLS Cup was up for grabs this afternoon with the Vancouver Whitecaps taking on Lionel Messi and Inter Miami. Now, Miami claimed their first MLS title with a 3-1 win over the Whitecaps. Miami went ahead 2-1 in the second half when Messi set up Rodrigo de Paul. Then Messi set up another goal in stoppage time. The Whitecaps were the first Canadian team to make it to the MLS since Toronto did it back in 2019. Well, you may have seen multiple Santas and people in festive costumes running along the canal today. The 35th annual Santa Shuffle took place at Lansdowne Park. It's a fun run, raising money for the Salvation Army. CTV's Natalie Van Roy reports.
3, 2, 1.
Ready, set, and they're off. Santa's helpers running along Ottawa's historic canal for the 35th annual Santa Shuffle. For Gail and Quinn Stokes, it's a new mother-son tradition.
For the fun of it, getting dressed up on a wintry day and start off the holiday season. I just got my second new knee, and I was still in recovery and thought it would be good for me to get out.
Honestly, the costumes, the marathons I do are a lot more serious, so seeing kind of just a fun, goofy, spirited run is a blast.
Festive costumes on full display, the Grinch and his dog, Santa Claus and elves.
I love to be in the Christmas spirit, and it's a really great opportunity to support the community, support people in need at Christmas.
Especially after the last couple of days where it's been so cold. But it should be a fun time. Looking forward to the hot chocolate and the market afterwards.
It's a good race, it's a good cause, and the people, just all of it. Yeah, it's a feel-good run.
We have 927. More than 900 people taking part. The run raising money for the Salvation Army.
The money raised in Ottawa specifically helps to support the Salvation Army Bethany Hope Centre in Ottawa. So we're a community resource centre for pregnant and parenting youth.
It's just
Funds raised here will help with food security, education, employment, and child development parent support.
They do so much work in our community that I don't think people realize what they're involved in many, many aspects. And they're always there in a crisis for everybody.
Merry Christmas!
A way to give back while having fun. Natalie Van Roy, CTV News.
It's important to remember the victim because the point is to prevent
further victims.
Still ahead, the L'École Polytechnique massacre, marking the 36th anniversary of one of Canada's darkest moments.
'Tis the season to lend a helping hand, Ottawa.
Join us for the CTV Your Morning Ottawa Food Drive on Friday, December 12th. We're teaming up with the Ottawa Food Bank to help our neighbors this holiday season.
Drop off your non-perishable food items at 87 George Street or make a monetary donation, allowing the Ottawa Food Bank to buy what's needed most when it's needed.
CTV Your Morning Ottawa Food Drive, December 12th, proudly sponsored by Doyle Saluski.
Marking a solemn anniversary tonight in Montreal. It's been 36 years since a gunman opened fire at L'École Polytechnique, killing 14 women and injuring 13 others. Beams of light illuminate the sky at a ceremony honoring the victims from one of the worst moments in Canadian history. And there was another commemoration for L'École Polytechnique massacre in Toronto. As the memory of the victims were honored, advocates say gender-based violence should be treated as a public health issue. CTV's Rahim Ladani reports.
Anne-Marie Lemay.
14 roses placed in memory of each of the women who were murdered in one of the worst moments in Canadian history. The rose ceremony inside Toronto's Women's College Hospital, commemorating the 36th anniversary of the L'École Polytechnique massacre.
It's important to remember the victims because the point is to prevent further victims, and that's the best thing we can do in the memory when we commemorate.
Heidi Rathjen survived the attack when Marc Lepine interrupted a lecture for engineering students in Montreal on December 6, 1989. Lepine made all the men leave the room before opening fire on the 9 remaining women with a semi-automatic rifle. He continued his attack in the halls, killing a total of 14 women and injuring 13 others. Liberal MP Nathalie Provost was also in the lecture hall that day.
I think I just take the time to stay quiet, to recognize what has been done, and to take energy to be able to do what still has to be completed.
2 years after the attack, Ottawa declared this date the National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women. In Montreal, Prime Minister Mark Carney attended a vigil, laying a white rose to honor the victims of the attack. However, advocates say gender-based violence remains a crisis and governments are not acting with a sense of urgency.
2 years ago, Bill C-21, important measures to remove firearms from domestic abusers are still not in effect. We're still waiting.
The calls for change are countrywide. In Ontario alone, officials report at least 44 femicides in the past year.
Toronto police released their first ever data around incidences of intimate partner violence.
Data showing that more action is needed to prevent further tragedy, as Canada marks one of the country's darkest days. Rahim Ladani, CTV News, Toronto.
You've really got some nerve coming here.
I just wanted to visit because I'm just so happy and so proud of how you guys are. Whoa, who threw that?
Well, coming up, some chirping from Blue Jays fans in the latest ad campaign for Sick Kids Hospital. Those details are up next. Plus, we'll take one more look at your weekend forecast.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Sanaya Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
All right, some overnight flurries that we have in store for us here, and that'll continue on into your Sunday. -4, your wake-up weather. The flurries continue on right throughout the day on Sunday. We could see about -9 could be the high that we're looking at. So again, we are dealing with, again, some snow, and then on Monday we have some sunshine before more snow. An unlikely pairing has teamed up for an annual holiday fundraising campaign headed by Sick Kids, featuring a World Series twist.
Let's go Blue Jays. Let's go Blue Jays. What a clown. Let's go Blue Jays. Do you even live, bro?
Well, the campaign features Ryan Reynolds and Canadian first baseman for the LA Dodgers, Freddie Freeman, who in the ad Gets a bit of a sour reception from those kids there. No, Freeman was a good sport, playing along in the video. Now, the All-Star was raised in California, but his parents are both from Ontario. He plays for Team Canada to honor his mother, who passed away from cancer when he was just 10 years old. The commercial is hilarious. Take a look at it. It's online everywhere if you get a chance. Well, that's CTV News for this Saturday, December the 6th. CTV News continues online anytime with our digital team, keeping up to date at ctvnewsottawa.ca. You can also watch our newscast live on the CTV News app anytime. And for news on the go, listen to News Talk Radio 580 CFRA. For all of us here at CTV News, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. I'll see you again tomorrow at 6 and 11.